Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. It's time to dip into those evil multi-cart things and pull out another random game to review. Yeah, random my ass. Today's subject matter is Devil World for the NES, originally released in Japan in 1984 and in Europe in 1987. Devil World never made it to North America in any official capacity because of all the religious iconography and, well, the fucking devil. Devil World places you in the role of Tamaron, a cute little dragon critter who must attack the Devil World by clearing the maze of dots. It's pretty much reminiscent of games like Pac-Man or other maze-like games, except Tamaron can't gobble up everything at will. Instead, he has to collect a crucifix to clear the dots. These crosses also gives you fire breath that you could use to temporarily incapacitate enemies. The crosses don't last long, so you have to rush towards another crucifix to keep gobbling dots and fending off enemies. Fortunately, you have an unlimited supply of crosses that you could walk over and grab onto, so your only real worries comes from avoiding enemy contact and trying not to get crushed by the scrolling screen. See, the maze scrolls in one of four directions, and every so often, the devil will order his minions to change direction of the scrolling, so it's not only a matter of collecting crosses to gather dots and avoid enemies, but also making timely escapes before you get trapped and squished, which can happen quite often at first. Pay attention to the devil on top of the screen as he spouts out orders every so often, and you'll be able to predict where and when to escape to. Mistakes can and will happen though. Don't fret. When you clear away all the dots in the maze, you move on to the second half of the round, gathering all 4 Bibles and using them to seal the skull box in the middle. Apparently you're trying to seal in Deacon Dave or something, I don't know. Once that's done, the devil will fly away, and you get to play a bonus round and on to the next maze where the fun starts all over again. And yes, there are multiple mazes, much like Miss Pac-Man actually. And as you progress, you'll have additional threats to deal with like red devils and mini devils. There's not a whole lot to Devil's World really. It's a fairly straightforward game that doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out what to do, but it's an intriguing twist on the classic maze formula that it doesn't feel like a complete knockoff. Controlling your little dragon critter thing is easy and simple, and the controls are pretty tight too, so any mistakes made are yours alone and not due to delayed controls or the like. Like most old school arcade style games, the limited scope of Devil World may seem tedious after a few rounds and would probably turn off a few people looking for something a little more substantial from their NES games. But there's a charm and appeal to Devil World that makes it endearing and fun. Devil World sports perfectly acceptable 8-bit visuals that are clean looking and refined. Though the character designs are fairly simplistic and cartoonish, this was the thing for the time, and in fairness they provide a lighter mood on a game that features, you know, the fucking devil. Speaking of which, the fucking devil looks fine, and the charisma exuded when he directs his minions is rather cute looking. Aside from that, there's not much else to say here, visually speaking. The general style of the mazes remain the same and they look fine for the most part. Devil World sports a couple quick jingles and a constant beat throughout the game. It's simple but otherwise repetitive after a while. Sound effects are nothing to write home about. They're typical Nintendo fare, all things considered. Devil World is something of an oddity, perhaps more well known and noteworthy for its content than its actual gameplay. I get the feeling that if Devil World had been published in North America, it would have been just another game in the NES library, much like Choo Choo Land or Ice Climber. In that regard, Devil World is, at the very least, a solid game that can be engaging in short bursts. It offers a different twist on the classic maze game formula and has a charm to it that makes it worthwhile. Best bet on playing Devil World is on the Famicom, as the NES PAL version is supposedly on the pricey side, but chances are if you come across one of those 110-in-1 multi-cart things, the game's already on there. All in all, don't jump into Devil World expecting greatness, just expect an old school arcade style maze game that's fun to play for short bursts every once in a while and you'll be fine.